I have
Yeah.
second question. What do you think is the correct size of agile teams? In our bank, actually, we recommend creating one Jira project for around say 16 team members or 20. If it is more than that, we say okay, just create another Jira project because it becomes very
Yeah, and
so
I'd
yeah.
be curious to hear what some of the partners may think on this. I'm going to give you the classic "it depends" answer because there are so many variables into it, right? How complex are the issue types? How many custom fields? What are the add-ons? What do your workflows look like? I mean, it's more than just number of people. That's one attribute. But you really have to look at it holistically to figure out what that breakpoint is. So I don't know if you guys have seen at a practical implementation level other things to think through, but that's my first take.
Actually, what's the concern of splitting into multiple projects?
Yeah, I feel that when the team is very large, it becomes the even the Kanban board or even the Scrum board becomes very
Busy.
complex and so that is one of the reason I think that it suits for the one Jira project suits for smaller teams like 16 or 20 max I would say, but more than 20 I don't think because yeah, so that's what I think.
Okay, because if let's say if your concern is the Kanban board and the Scrum board, actually you can actually limit different type of GQL filters so that you can actually partition. So in fact, there's one of a different scenario is like a product management team. They can have one project, 3 different boards. One for the requirements management board, one is for the software development board, one is the testing team. So 3 boards actually is used independent by 3 teams, but all the issues and tasks resides in the same projects. So another thing is Jira software also have that feature which allow multiple sprints, active sprints. So you can actually consider to activate it.
Yes. So I mean, I would say that if we have a large team, and if we are using lot of other features of Jira like issue security, right? If we are using issue security within a large team, and it becomes very confusing for the team to okay, which issue is visible. I'm not able to see an issue. So so I try to restrict it to teams around to 20 or 30 max. So so we have to think through all the permutation. And for example, the swim lanes, right? If we have if you want to have a swim lanes by each assignee, and we have 40 members, so there are 40 tabs. Oh my God,
Oh.
so,
So if you are using issue security it might be a telltale sign that you might want to split into different projects. Because one of the key thing about projects is each project can have their own permissions. And the reason of having issue security is you don't want each other team to see each other issues, right? Yeah, but if you want all of them to see together, then you can put them in one project.
Perfect, and that's a great example of other factors than just the number of users, right? Because you could actually have a small team, and if security is a bigger concern, that might be what's really throttling it. So I agree, the issue security, maybe filters, there could be a couple of other ways that you might want to measure that.
Sorry, I have one more question. Okay.
All right. That's your quota, though. You get one more.
Okay. So since this is it is around my second question. Okay. Since we have a lot of Jira projects, right? But it becomes very difficult to have a single 1,000 feet overview of all the 700 projects or all of like 1,000 projects in a single view. So do you have anything in your product roadmap which gives us a single view of or progress of all the projects within Jira?
So you want to see where all the different projects are at,
Yeah,
more
for
of
example,
an aggregated view.
Yeah, for example, we have like, let's say 500 Scrum teams and 500 sprints we have. So how do I see a single, how can I have a single view of all the 700 teams, in a single?
And are you looking primarily just to see where the individual sprints are at, or you want to track dependencies between them and look at managing releases and target dates? And is it the latter?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of portfolio?
Yeah, but we found it. We tried the portfolio and big picture, but we didn't find it very intuitive and
You can be honest with me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. It's not my baby. It's not my code. I just tell you what it does. Yeah. So I think if you've looked at Portfolio, that's great. And for those of you who may not know, because Portfolio is one of the products that I didn't discuss today, but what we're talking about here is within a Jira install, you'll have multiple projects, usually per team. Sounds like the scenario's evolved a bit beyond that as well, right? They have hundreds or thousands of projects. That's great. You're using Agile, you've delegated down, teams are working at their own velocity, fantastic. They're more empowered, right? But then how the heck do you figure out when your release is going to be ready? Right? You've got a UI team and a database team and a mobile team and an OS team, and I just need to know as the product owner, like, when can I actually ship this thing? I need version 2.3. When will it all be ready? Portfolio allows you to tap into all those Jira projects and give you one dashboard view. Be aware of all the dependencies that have already been mapped out and say, right, what are the dates that you're looking to have this achieved? What are the resources you have allocated? And then it'll give you red light, green light. Here's how you're tracking to your different target dates and your different releases. That's the very, very high level 30-second kind of what Portfolio does. So it sounds like you took a look at it. That's great. Sounds like you didn't necessarily like it so much or found some deficiencies. I would say for everyone in the room, it's about to get a big refresh looking at the 3.x line. And I've had a couple of chats with the product manager recently for Portfolio. And stay tuned and maybe take another look in the next few months. There's going to be a lot of significant activity there, because that's a big thing. And again, I know during one of the breaks we were having this chat too, right? Somebody was saying about Agile purists having their own views on if and when and how to use Jira, or even Portfolio. When I went through my Scrum Master training, the individual that I had actually said, oh, project management, if you're doing Agile properly, the PMO office will just go away after a couple of years. You won't need PMO anymore. And I just sat in the room and thought, yeah, right, I can't think of too many customers of mine where that's going to happen. Big institutions will continue to have PMO, and they'll need applications like Portfolio. So we're going to reinvest there. We're going to add some additional things to that. And I don't have a definitive timeline. I can't tell if it's 2 months or 3 months or 6 months, but there will be something coming out there probably this calendar year, at least an alert on where we'll be taking that product next. Yeah, I would say for all of you, if you haven't taken a look at Portfolio and you need that type of insight into things, definitely take a look. It has a lot of features to it. Not perfect, we're still making it better, but it's better than once you move beyond dashboards in Jira and you want to manage release cycles. One of the other things we've seen customers do is just extract all that data out into a spreadsheet, honestly, and then just try to do it in Excel. Rather than incur that amount of pain on yourself, take a look at Portfolio. It's worth at least having a look at first. So, cool.
Okay, I got something to add with respect to the second question about splitting projects. So we have a customer, they actually approached us. What they did is for every new customer project, they create 7 Jira projects for different departments. So the software team, one project for this customer, the accounts team have another project. So in the end, they got so many Jira projects until they got quite messy, and it's hard to maintain, and it's quite hard to report. So you might also want to take note when you want to cut your project into many small projects, you will encounter the different problems from the other side. So yeah, I think it's balanced.